All right, so this is gonna be episode 82 of the Just Chilling podcast. Let's do it. I got my boy Scotty here with me today. Man, how you doing?
I'm here, man. I'm glad to be here, man. For real, this is my first wrestling podcast, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, so you kind of let everybody know. I'm a big wrestling fan. Scott is a big wrestling fan. So today we're gonna be, talking mainly about, it's WrestleMania season. So I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? Got my boy Scotty here with me, man. We set up an interview to do this last year. I don't even know how we got in contact. I think it was maybe on some wrestling board.
Yeah, any brand wrestling, I think. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Me and my buddy Ryan, we started it up last year, and we got almost 500, almost 500 a lot members on there. So if anybody wants to join it, it's any brand wrestling on Facebook. We accept everybody. So and no bias towards any wrestling. It's all on there. So complain, cheer, whatever. It's all on there.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we just wanted to, go down the recent history of what's been going on for real. Starting with the AEW Bar Wire match. Um, did you watch that, and what did you think about the match between Kenny Omega and John Moxley?
See, I knew it wasn't going to be the most technical wrestling match in the world, especially with the whole barbed wire aspect and the whole just the whole aspect of the heart that just being that mainly hardcore stuff, and Kenny Omega, he's known for his like 5-star matches, and I knew this wasn't going to be a classic. I knew it was going to be a brawl, but I don't think it really I don't know. I had my expectations too high, I think, because as I was watching it, they did a little spots here and there, but like to
Yeah,
me, it was just more. I don't know.
I
It
think
did.
the ending kind of messed up a lot of stuff with it. I can see what they were trying to do with it. Um, you know, it was supposed to be like a dangerous match or whatnot. So it's limited, what you can do anyways when the ring ropes are wrapped in barbed wire and shit like that.
Right.
Only so much you can do anyways. But I feel like the ending might have messed it up a little bit by the fireworks and whatnot. But I thought early in the night that Chris Jericho and them had the best match. I think it was like a tag team match between him and MJF and shit, I want to say it was the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
hell of a match, man.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of MJF. A lot of people compare him to the Miz or whatnot, but I think they are totally two different people. Maybe maybe the aspects and the gimmicks are kind of similar, but I'm a real big fan of MJF. I think he's a real good heel. I haven't seen him as a face though, but he thrives as a heel though. So he's one of the main people that I'm actually looking forward to seeing him in his new group. Forget what they called themselves, the Pinnacle. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do against Jericho now, and but now I guess Jericho's a face, so it's gonna be different. So
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see what happens there.
right. So yeah, like I said, I've been wanting to talk to you since last year, man. I really want you to kind of tell us, when and where did you get into wrestling at first? Because I know it's different for everybody.
When I was 5, they had a Raw show. It was in I think it was in Dayton, and my dad, he had brought me there. I was 5 years old, and Stone Cold Steve Austin had came out there, and we was in third row, I think, and he was splashing his beer everywhere, and I got soaked in beer. I was 5 years old, man. It was the most cool experience ever, And after the show, I ended up meeting one of the wrestlers. I think it was D'Lo Brown, I think it was, and he ended up signing my T-shirt at the time. And I don't know if a lot of people are not familiar with D'Lo Brown, but he was really good in the ring, man.
Shout out to D'Lo Brown. He doing commentary on Impact right now.
Yeah, D'Lo was he was really good in the ring, man. He had that one botch where he had messed up somebody's neck, I think it was. But other than that, he's always been really good, man. And uh, to this day, I think that's my only autograph. I got a picture with Kurt Angle, but I think that's my only autograph is D'Lo Brown so far.
How'd you get a picture with Kurt Angle?
He was at an airport in Columbus. We was actually flying to Florida, and he was at the airport, and he actually stopped and took some pictures with some fans. And before he got on, I had yelled at him, and he actually had heard me. And I had a broken arm at the time. He was in a cast. I don't know if he felt sorry for me or whatever. But he came over there and he took a picture with me and my dad, and I still have it hanging up in my room. So it's real cool.
He signed your cast?
Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah. That's dope, man. You pretty much came in doing the attitude era then.
Yeah. I was really a big fan of WCW for the longest time, and my dad, he was watching WWF, but I had never grown up on WWF, but and I was always complaining at dad when he would change it to WWF because I was always a WCW guy, and I didn't start getting into WCW until I got bought out. So like when it got bought out, that's when I started watching WWF. But I was always a WCW guy, really, just because that's what I grew up on, and that's where I really like. I was a big Goldberg and Sting fan and all that.
Yeah, that's why I try to tell people too that ask me about it. I kind of started right when the NWO was taking over. Like I can remember being like 9 years old watching shit what they used to call the Nitro
Yeah,
with the
remember that.
NWO Hollywood Hogan, man. I love Hollywood Hogan, man. I
Yeah,
loved his whole gimmick, man. Um, Razor Ramon. I even remember, Scott Hall in WCW. I remember Razor Ramon. Um, even Kevin Nash, the NWO, man. I used to beg for shirts like that, beg for NWO shirts when I was a kid, and I think I ended up growing up rooting for heels because of how they revolutionized what it is to be a heel. Because they
right.
were like, I think even Kevin Nash spoke on it because I watched like an interview or something like that. Kevin Nash was like, that they were being received as like as good as faces were good guys, but really they were playing the heel role, and you didn't see that before the NWO so much. I don't believe because I mean I wasn't old enough to watch it or partake in it, but I mean they were some heels that was loved. They was beloved heels, man. So
Yeah,
that's what I saw growing up with, and I always pulled for next up was corporate rock. I mean, that's my favorite version of the rock. When he was with the corporation, when he was with
yeah,
Shane McMahon, Vince McMahon, when they screwed over Stone Cold to get the belt. I mean, I
yeah,
love the Rock portrayed that as well. So I mean, he had his acting chops, at high level, even in that storyline for WWE to me. So I'm always, I grown to like faces, but I mean, even Kurt Angle, he was a heel.
yeah,
So even I'm always got my eye on the heel. Like I said, I'm gonna show you how it was. I didn't even pay attention to John Cena at all, like for
right.
the longest. And he was huge. I mean, he's a legend, and I didn't pay attention to him at all because he never turned heel before. So
Right.
I feel like to complete you as a wrestler, you got to have that heel run. And I
Yeah.
think I would have loved John Cena as a heel, but I figured the money he was pulling in as a face was too much, you know what I'm saying, for him to ever, go that way.
Yeah. I honestly think that the heel turn for Roman Reigns is one of the biggest aspects of his career right now. I love Roman Reigns as a heel, the whole head of the table, tribal chief thing. Him with Paul Heyman, even. That's something that I never seen coming because he's always been a face. Besides like when he first came in, but this new heel Roman, it's fresh and like everybody that I personally know love the character now more so when he was a face. He's actually a heel
Yeah.
now and gets cheered more for it too. And this is whole new heel Roman is something that I can definitely get behind.
Yeah. Um, I mean, but he played the face role well too. But yeah, this here, that's why I just feel like it completes you as a wrestler. I feel like you got to
Yeah,
have that face run and you got to have that heel run.
yeah,
I mean, maybe some people would, dispute that, argue with me on that. But I just think that you got to have both of them. John Cena's like that, the outlier. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe too many people could just go face the whole time like that unless you really generate money for the company. So
right.
you got to be able to, do both of them like that. But well, Daniel Bryan, I mean, he did his heel run, and I loved it.
Yeah,
You remember when he had
the vegan title.
the vegan title?
Yeah, man, I would. Yeah,
I
whatever it
wanted that
was.
shit, man. I wanted that. That's how good he was. That's how good
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan is, though, man. You want that you want that belt that's made out of fallen oak.
yeah.
Because it's good for the planet. Yeah, but Fastlane, what did you take away from Fastlane? That was the latest pay-per-view from WWE. What did you think about it?
The best match by far was the Roman and Daniel Bryan fight. Classic back and forth. I don't like how they made Roman really tap out at the end there. I mean, even though it wasn't official, I think it really hurt him by tapping out because if that's not the finish, I don't know why they had him do that. Just because he's never tapped out his entire career. And then the week before, he's always saying that he's going to lose his arm before he taps out. So it kind of made him look weak going into WrestleMania. Yeah, but he's a heel too, so heels lie, of course. But I don't know why they did that did the whole tapping out thing. I think they're gonna mention that on SmackDown
Mhm.
tomorrow night, and I think they're gonna. I think he's gonna say he didn't tap out, and maybe it looked like it or something. But I think they need to address that issue.
Oh,
But
it's gonna get spin perfectly because
yeah,
Paul Heyman is gonna find a way to spin this perfectly. He's got Paul Heyman in his corner, so I
yeah,
know I know Paul is just working overtime on how to spin this for him.
yeah,
That was a great match, man. Like you said, you jumped right to the best match of the night.
yeah,
I found myself, I love Roman Reigns. You can ask anybody. I love Roman Reigns. I think I love Daniel Bryan probably even more, man, just because of who he is and
yeah.
where he comes from and his whole story. Like I feel like they can do a movie on Daniel Bryan at some point.
Right,
Um, I found myself rooting for him, man, in that match, and I think that's the way they wanted us to feel in that match. That you want to root for Daniel, even though he's gonna lose that match. I'll tell you what I was thinking when I was watching it though, because Jay, I think Jimmy or Jay came out there and tried to help him. I thought first of all that Roman was gonna beat his ass for trying to help him, and then I thought his other brother was gonna make an appearance at Fastlane to kind of help him go over in that match, but it didn't happen. So
right,
like you said, Edge ended up getting involved. I didn't really know why he was ringside for a long time. I didn't know what kind of role he was gonna play in that match until
right.
it happened. But that, like you said, all around, best match of the night. Let's see, I watched that man, Jim Cornette, I be checking him out sometime on YouTube.
Yeah,
He shitted on that Alexa Bliss and on that he shit on that Alexa Bliss Randy Orton match.
yeah. I actually have a Jim Cornette T-shirt here. That's what I was wearing
Looking
earlier.
forward.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Um, Man, I was interested to see what was going to go on, but I don't know if I was. I like the mask. I like the new mask, but the whole bodysuit thing, I don't know if I can get behind the whole bodysuit thing. I think it's going to be really hard to really breathe in that thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. A lot of people say it's Bo Dallas, but you
Yeah.
know, regardless of who it is, I was a big fan of the original Fiend. I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan in general, so just to see this new character, kind of looking like half Freddy Krueger, half Jason Voorhees looking thing, it's definitely different. I was never really a big fan of the whole hokey pokey supernatural stuff, but
Mhm.
there is an audience for it. So I know Jim Cornette, he's not a big fan of it, but there is definitely an audience for it. The merchandise sales show you that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm hoping he kind of goes back to the original Fiend because that's what I was kind of hoping. I was hoping they didn't change it too much, but they think they might have done it a little too overboard with this whole bodysuit and everything. So
Man, they going deep in the water with this whole gimmick, man. I don't know who it is. Is it Bray? Because Bray's smarter than this, I believe. I don't
yeah,
know if it's more him or it's more Vince. I don't know who's really like controlling this gimmick right now. And I go ahead, if I had to bet money on it, I'd say Vince is. Because he's got the last say on a lot of stuff.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I watched Drew McIntyre Sheamus match. Did you check that out?
yeah, yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
them boys put on the show too.
yeah. Drew coming out there looking like Braveheart. That was really cool. You know,
Yeah.
I really miss his old theme music. I was hoping he was gonna bring that back eventually, man. The Broken Dreams. That
Yeah,
was one of my favorite ones. Him and Sheamus always have wars. They have really good chemistry. I think it would be really cool if Sheamus would have came out with the Irish face paint too. That would told a lot. That would been a cool story. And now they're doing this whole thing where he's helping them out again. So are they going to go back together as a tag team, or are they just going to be mutual, or what? I don't know what's going to happen. But when they get together, they put on a good show because their chemistry, it's on point.
yeah. You think Bobby will drop the belt? I mean, at WrestleMania to Drew.
I hope not. I like Drew, but Bobby just got it, and it's been 16 years. I think it was 16 years or something like that. He was saying, and he deserves a push, man. There's not really many black people that get the WWE championship. There's Mark Henry, he had it. The Rock, and then Bobby Lashley. There's not too many people that really get that chance, man. And I'm hoping that like Bobby, he deserves it, man. He worked his ass off. He had the title in TNA. He did that. He's 8-0 in Bellator MMA. He's a hell of an athlete. I think he deserves the title. I think he deserves to keep it for a while. I hope they keep it on him. He does a program with Brock Lesnar. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Or
and like I said, I feel like he
yeah,
paid his dues. He did that
yeah,
that shitty gimmick with Lana last year.
yeah,
I mean that was god awful, man. It
yeah,
was hard to watch right
yeah.
there. Definitely. I mean, I hope he'll go over, but I really can't sit here and say that he will because I don't know. I like to, I usually take it pay per view by pay per view just to see
Yeah.
what's going on. But you have a match you looking forward to see at WrestleMania?
I think it's gonna be a three-way between Edge, Roman, and Daniel. I don't think it's gonna stay a singles match between Edge and Roman. And if that's the case, that's gonna be one of the matches I'm gonna look forward to because Edge alone, he's really talented, and then with you add Daniel Bryan and Roman to that mix, I think that's something special,
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping for. That's why I think it's leading towards a triple threat match. I think that's for Reigns. I think Reigns is going to retain. And I think I want him to do a program with The Rock. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So I think he will retain, but if he doesn't, uh,
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think either him or Edge, one of the
Yeah.
two. I think Daniels is there to take the pin.
Let's see. Okay, so I don't think it'll be Daniel Bryan. But you got Edge on this contract. I mean, he's got to hold the belt at some point. So that's the only thing that makes me think that he could win it because has he had the belt yet? Edge. I'm
Recently,
talking about in this new run that when he
yeah,
first
not
came back to Royal Rumble. He hasn't held it yet.
a lot of injuries.
Huh?
Yeah, he's been hurt a lot too. So
But I'm saying like since
yeah,
he's been back from the last year at the Royal, I keep saying WrestleMania. Last
yeah,
year at the Royal Rumble, um,
yeah,
he
he
had
hasn't had
he,
any
he hasn't
gold
had
yet.
he hasn't had
Yeah,
it yet.
yeah, he hasn't had no gold yet.
So that's the only thing I think, like you said, either Roman will retain or I think Edge
Yeah,
would take that because I mean, why else would he come back? I think he's
right.
47 now. Why else would he come back? Why else would Vince want him to come back? You know, and not let him hold that title again. Like I said, maybe if he don't win it at WrestleMania, he'll probably win it at a different pay-per-view down the road. I'm not for
As much
sure.
as I like Daniel Bryan, I think they're going to add him to the match just to take the pinfall, either protect Roman or protect Edge. And so
Keep the
I think that's
storyline
the
going.
only
And
reason.
Daniel, he's fine with that. He's fine with
Yeah,
keeping that story going.
yeah,
He's had a hell of a career, man. So I definitely want to shout out to Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Like you said,
yeah.
the black women, what I'm saying? They got the title match at WrestleMania. Not sure on how I think that's gonna go. That's kind of hard to call because Sasha moves a hell of a lot of merch, and been moving a hell of a lot of merch. So for that match for Bianca to go over,
Right.
um, I would say that Sasha would have to be okay with that, and I don't know that she is right now. So I don't know. Until I see otherwise, I'm going to go ahead
Right.
and go with Sasha being the favorite in that match
Yeah.
because I
I
don't
am
know.
too. Yeah.
She's got an attitude. I mean, which rightfully so. What I'm saying? She the boss, but I don't know how she'll feel about that. Giving
Right.
that belt up. Yeah. Um, a lot of other shit going on, man. A lot of shit, like you said, WrestleMania season going on right now.
Yeah.
What do you think about Andrade asking for his release and then getting his release? One thing to ask for it, another thing to get it.
Like Aleister Black needs to do the same thing. He hasn't been used in forever, you know. And Andrade, he's a great talent. And Aleister, he's a great talent. I have no idea where Keith Lee is right now. Keith Lee is one of my boys. He's one of
Damn.
my and I don't know if he's got some personal business or he has something going on with him. I know on Twitter he said he was going to address it and acknowledge it and let everybody know what's going on. But he's got something going on. Maybe it's an injury, maybe it's family issues, health issues. I have no idea. But I think he said he's going to address that issue because he's one that I've missed. You know, ever since he got pulled up to the main roster, he's kind of been lost in the mid card. And I'm a really big Keith Lee fan, so I'm hoping he gets back on there. You know, he'd be a good aspect. He'd be a good member of the Hurt Business, maybe.
Man,
Yeah.
hell yeah. I can see that. I can see
But
that.
with Andrade, man, he's really talented. You know, he's one of the, I think he was more talented than Alberto Rio was. And you
Mhm.
know, Alberto, he had a lot of personal issues he had to deal with. You know, but with Andrade, he's still young. You know, married to Charlotte Flair. You know, props for that. But I think he's going to do good. I think he'll probably he'll probably go to AEW. I'd say. You
That's why I
know,
was wondering where he might go. I mean, with them working so closely together, he can end up Impact. Impact
yeah,
too. He can still put on a damn good show at Impact. So I
yeah.
mean, they
Now with
working so
Impact,
close together right now.
yeah, now with Impact and New Japan working with AEW, you know, he'll eventually end up he'll get used because he's very talented. If he does
Mhm.
go to AEW, I hope they use him better than they do Rusev right now because I'm not a big fan of the whole Miro thing. But
Yeah, the best man. Yeah, the best man gimmick. Yeah.
yeah,
Him and Andrade and Drew McIntyre. Then they had a classic match in NXT a
yeah,
while back. Man, that was my first time getting to watch Andrade and Drew McIntyre for the for early first time. I mean, but you want to ask about where people are. What's his name? Bobby Roode.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people get um get left to the wayside, man, when they get brought up, man. Why do you think that happened? Do you have any idea or clue on why they get pulled up just to get lost in the shuffle?
I think it's all about Vince McMahon and trying to please him. I think because when it comes down to it, he's the boss. If he don't like you, he's gonna put you on the shelf. I don't know why Aleister Black ain't being used right now. He's really talented. He was super talented in NXT, and I thought he was gonna go somewhere, and
Yeah,
he's not. And
yeah. Well, I
I'm
heard
just
some.
really hoping Keith Lee comes back.
Yeah, I heard somewhere before, but I kind of believe it too. That just Vince just like big, muscular, sweaty dudes, tall, big, muscular, sweaty dudes. He'll push those people to the moon. He'll push them to the stars.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, you see how hard Daniel Bryan had to fight for his chance.
yeah,
So if you look like me and you, or you look like a bigger, a taller version of us, and you just got a little extra weight on you, I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, Kevin Owens has been lost lately.
yeah,
But I mean, I'm surprised he made it as far as he did. You know what I'm saying? Just Vince is just like a
yeah,
workout fanatic, man, and I think he just wants to see that
yeah,
in his wrestlers, and he know that sells. He know that sells action figures. He know
yeah,
that it sells tickets and stuff like that. So that's what he searches for. I
yeah,
mean, he even got um Braun Strowman to lose belly fat.
yeah,
So now Braun
yeah.
Strowman got like a fucking six pack out of nowhere. And I guess I mean, you imagine the pressure of him trying to keep that just to
Right.
keep his job, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how much NXT you watch, man, but
I'm a big
I just
fan of
wanted,
NXT. Yeah.
huh?
Big fan of NXT. I
I
like it
wanted to
better
know
than
what
Raw.
what you thought about what's his name? Cross?
Karrion Cross. I met
Darren
him a few
Cross.
times. I actually worked with him a few times too.
Huh?
I actually worked with him personally. I know him personally. He wrestles in Indiana. He used to wrestle in Indiana a local wrestling foundation. It's called Roche Championship Wrestling, and I managed him a few times, and I rode the cars with him. I've talked to him. I knew him before he was in WWE. He never thought he was going to go get to that level, and I knew him a long time. And he's actually a really good guy. I'm really proud of him wherever he's come, man. I wish I could get a hold of him or talk to him or anything, but I have no way to even get in contact with him. But I know him personally, and he's really good, man. I'm glad he's got where he's at.
Yeah. Hey man, just go to his Instagram or go to his Twitter and hit that DM up, man. You never know what can come out of that, man. How did y'all meet?
He was actually wrestling in Richmond at the time for a local fed. It's called Rose Championship Wrestling, and he was wrestling for them for a long time. And then he went to Indianapolis and he was wrestling for them. It was called I think it was all impact something wrestling, and he's wrestled a lot of independents here in Indiana. And I'm a big independent guy because here in Cartersville where I was at. They had a show going on called World's Finest Wrestling, and I worked there for a while, and I did a bunch of independent managing and refereeing and stuff. I was never really I never was in the ring myself because I got a lot of injuries myself, so I was always in the manager role or refereeing or being backstage and helping all the talent out, and Karrion Kross, he used to be called Killer Kross. That's what he was going by before in the independents. And I managed him a few times, and we went out to dinner and rode the cars with him. And he was always wanting to go to that next level. And I think he ended up going to Fort Wayne and wrestling up there for a while. And then after that, I'm not sure where he went. And he actually ended up making his way up to WWE, which was super cool. And I'm really proud of him, man, because I never, when we was all out there, everybody's pipe dream was just that level. But then nobody really thought they was going to. So he's the first one I actually know that, said it and did it. So I'm really proud of him, man. He's worked his ass off to get where he's at.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Did he work out a lot? What was his ethic like? What was his mindset like when you was around him?
He was always trying to be the best in the ring, man. There was another wrestler he's actually he's not really famous, but I forget his name. And it was what was his name? He was blonde too. He's got a really good Instagram following, but it was him and Karen, man, him and Killer, and what is his name? I forget his name. I'll have to look it up after this. But him, yeah, he was training all the time, and he was trying to be the best of what in there. He really worked on promos mostly. He's really good at promos. He had the TikTok promos, and he had the Killer Kross thing going on, and
I was gonna tell you, I think Triple H, for you to know him and for him to be where he at now, because I think Triple H and them love him, man. I think they really want to push him. I truly would not be surprised if he went over at the next pay-per-view against. I mean, think about that. He's in a match with Finn Balor, man. That's big time for him to come as far as he came, from the independent scene to having a match with fucking Finn Balor, man. That's not bad.
Yeah, first Universal Champion.
Yeah, that's not bad, man. Shout out to Kross, man. Straight up. So let's see. I think Sanders that's the only match that stands out to me. I mean, I don't that that the Undisputed Era has pretty much dissolved.
Kyle O'Reilly and the Bobby Fish, and I'm a big Adam Cole fan, though, man. I think Adam Cole's got something going on for him. I don't think Vince is going to push this. The big difference between Raw and NXT is NXT is ran by Triple H mostly, and Triple H knows how to use these smaller guys and get them over, man. As soon as they jump ship, Vince don't use them. So I'm hoping when Vince steps down, Triple H takes those reins and makes it kind of like NXT, because I think NXT, a lot of times it's better than Raw. So.
Yeah, I'm watching a lot of NXT right now. Yeah. Like you said, I think Kross would be fine if they pulled him up, but hell, you never know. I mean, I thought Keith Lee was gonna be fine when he got pulled. I thought Bobby Roode was gonna be fine when he got pulled. So, I mean, I'm never right with this stuff when I speculate on a potential prospect for Raw or SmackDown. You never
Yeah.
know, where that star is gonna come from.
Yeah. With
And
Keith Lee, I thought they was gonna put him in the Hurt Business or put him in tag team with Big E Langston. Because I could see him and Big E, being a similar size and that build. I think they'd have really good tag team success. But then he's with New Day too. Well, was with New Day. But I thought they would be really cool to be partners, or put him in the Hurt Business with Bobby Lashley, and that would help push him up the ladder too. And but I'm just really hoping he comes back. Maybe he'll come back at WrestleMania, do something. I'm big on Keith Lee. I think he's got a
think he
he's
still
got a
got a
future ahead
chance.
of him. Yeah,
Think he still got a chance.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, like I said, we just pretty much gonna get you on here and cover some wrestling stuff today, mostly. Like I said, because I wanted to get you back last year, but
yeah.
you had some complications going on, and I guess we could touch on a little bit of that now. But like I said, you don't have to tell me the specifics on what happened or whatnot, but just tell me what it was like when you went in, and what I'm saying, what was it, what got you through, to make it to the day where you at now.
When I first got in there, it was letters my saving grace, man. Without them letters, I don't know what I would have done. And even though it was a short bit, I got out 4 months early too. So with God on my side, at least I got out that 4 months early. I'm home. I'm with my baby girl. I'm still trying to get my marriage back on track, and that's gonna work itself out. But you know, I'm just so blessed to be here, man. I didn't catch much wrestling in that joint, man, because really there was you only got two TVs in there, and everybody's fighting over it. So when I did catch wrestling, it was it was rare. I remember the first time I caught it. Uh, Roman Reigns was a heel, and I had no idea about it. And I seen him with Heyman, and I was flipping out, man. That was so cool for me. And but every day, man, it's just not a place you want to be in, really. Especially when you have family like this on the outside. And I had so much going for me. I'm just so blessed to be out now, and I get to catch up on this wrestling. I can be with my kids. Um, I'm just really blessed to be out of that place, man. For real.
All right. Um, just a bad experience, man. You just didn't enjoy none. You had no good times in there.
I try to stay to myself mostly. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in there that you don't want to get involved in, especially if you're trying to get home. You don't want to jack your mat, and that's one thing I never want to do is just catch more time, more time, and more time. I wanted to do everything I could to get out of there as soon as I could, and I ended up getting out on CTP, which is like 4 months early on basically home detention. It's not really home detention; it's just GPS monitoring. Basically, they tell them where you're at, and you do random drug tests or whatever, But I get off that in July 2nd, so I'm cool. I'm ready. I'm ready to get this over with and move on, man. Cause I ain't going back there no more. This uh, being out has been my saving grace. I'm changed. I changed a lot. I want to be here for my kids and my wife, and
Right.
I'm just ready to move on.
Right. I don't blame you. And also, I just want to ask you a little bit about that because I watch a lot of the 60 Days In, and that shit
Yeah,
be crazy. What you see on 60 Days In, what
it's
go on in
worse.
there,
Yeah, it's
it's
worse than that.
wild.
It's worse than that. I used to watch that shit too, man. And then when I got in there, I was like, that must have not came here. I ended up going to level two, which was IYC here in Indiana. It was the same prison Mike Tyson was at. You know, I was in the same dorm as Mike Tyson was in, actually. Man, I don't know. It probably changed a lot since he's been out, but that place is horrible. That place is, man, god awful.
Uh, that's why I said I definitely want to have you on here to tell our viewers how bad, the situation is like that. So them
Yeah,
or their
yeah,
kids, can watch this and not, go down a bad road, stay out of trouble, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Not get caught up in no kind of bullshit, that'll
yeah.
lead them to a place like that. So I
Yeah, there's no
appreciate you.
future in it.
Huh?
Definitely no future in it, man. If you
Yeah.
if you got a chance to stay out, that's what you need to do, man. If you got family and you got kids, you got loved ones, man. You got to think about that because it's not worth waking up every day seeing that barbed wire and going out in the rain, snow, no matter what kind of weather it is, just to eat, and you have just to spend $15 on almost $6 on a $15 phone call, man. Just talk to your people, and then it's hard, bro. It's extremely hard. And if you can get through it and stay out, man, that's a blessing because a lot of people have a lot of turnover rates, especially when you get out, and it's still different for me being out because I'm still trying to get used to this, but I'm doing so much better. I'm just grateful to be out.
You sound better, you look better, man.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you was, what is the eating like in there? What is the meals like? Do you still have to like get something to eat when you get back to your cell, or because I mean I watched 6 days in, people be having whole stores in they cell, whole snack stores.
Yeah. If you get commissary like that, then it's very possible to get that in yourself, man. This is it ain't necessarily expensive, but the amount of stuff you can get, it's not good quality food really. And then if you don't get money like that, you're going to chow every day, and that's all Airmark food, man. It's terrible. It's not even like if you work in a kitchen, boxes of food that says not for human consumption. It's like processed and everything. It's terrible. If you don't get commissary, you have to get used to that Airmark food, and it tears you up, man. And then when you finally get out and you actually eat that real food, you have to digest that and get it through you. Man, it's that
Make
food
it
in
good.
there. It ain't good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. On that, we could just finish up, man. Like I said, I appreciate you getting through. We finally getting the episode done. We've
Yeah,
been trying to do this since last year, man. So I definitely appreciate you coming through, chopping it up with me a little bit about wrestling and stuff like that. Hopefully we can do it soon. After WrestleMania, any other pay-per-views come up,
yeah,
we can just come through and we can chop it up again, man.
yeah. I'm really looking forward to this WrestleMania, this 2 night. I think they still got a lot of matches they have to announce still yet. Especially with 2 nights, and fans are being back this year. I'm interested to see what happens between Bray Wyatt and Randy. I don't know if it's going to be a cinematic matchup or not, just because of the crowd being there. I don't know how they're going to react to seeing it on Titantron or whatever,
Yeah.
and not in person. So I don't know if they're going to go that route. But I'm really interested to see how that story ends.
Okay. Well, we can wait and see. We can chop it up about it later. Like I said, I
Yep.
just appreciate you coming through, man. And like I said, we'll just get up next time.
Yeah, for sure.